Corey Davis, your host, and I'm thrilled to take you on this journey as we dive into inspiring stories, expert insights, and practical tips to help you thrive as a digital nomad. Welcome back to the Jet Set Journeys podcast.
All right, so welcome everyone. I have Dana Winestone with us. She's actually one of our collaborators for Jet Set Voyage, and she's gonna tell us about her story, which I'm really excited to have her on the show and share with everyone where she came from, what she's doing now, where she's headed. And so, yeah, Dana, tell a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Where do I start? It's always that question, right?
Yeah.
How far back do you want me to go?
Right. Yeah. Not too far back, but yeah, where are you from, for one?
I'm originally from Latvia, but I haven't lived there for such a long time. I moved away when I was 11. So I've been traveling from a really young age. And yeah, I went on to live in Iceland for 6 years.
Oh, nice. Which part?
Keflavik, so that's where the actual airport is. Where they say it's Reykjavik, the capital, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in Keflavik, I think, for like a couple months, and it was pretty awesome. So I was prior Air Force.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went there for a little. Actually, that was my first trip out of country, so it was actually pretty cool.
When was that? Was that a long time ago?
Oh yeah, 1997, 98. So I'm aging myself now. But yeah, it was pretty awesome. So anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's one thing living there and traveling there, and then living there is completely another thing. But yeah, so I was there for 6 years. And yeah, and then I moved away again, and it's like been moving. I'm constantly on the move. So now it's like a bug. I can't stop. It's not moving.
Once you get started, you just keep going, huh? So you just don't want to settle anywhere? Is that what it is? You just like new places?
I have settled now.
Okay.
I have settled now. I'm actually waiting for my 2-year visa to stay in Bali. So I'm in Bali right now. Which is
nice. Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. A 2-year visa. Wow. So how'd you go about doing that?
No ways. No, I've been here for 5 months now.
Okay. 5 months. And you just like it so much? Yeah,
I've been here for 5 months, and then I thought, yeah. I mean, it's a great place to be. It's got everything I need right now, and also it's an amazing, powerful place for manifestation. Yeah. Like, I get why people stay here now. I didn't get it, on Instagram, you just look at pretty pictures, you can't feel the vibes. But when you're actually here, I get it. It. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see where this journey takes me, because the last 5 months have been incredible. So I'm really excited.
So have you been to Gili Island and all those islands around there yet?
I went to Gili Air for like a week, and I went to Nusa Penida, but no, I'm kind of stuck on the island right now. And yeah, I just I'm quite, I don't even go outside of Ubud. That's the town I'm in. Because which is kind of, I'm just settling into actually living here rather than traveling all the time. Because the first 2 years the first year and a half traveling, I was always on the move. I always wanted to see more and do more, and that was what my journey was about. But now my priorities have changed. It's about settling into a community and having routines and discipline, actually focus on building my career. Because, when I started this journey, I thought, it's great, I'm gonna have my business, it's gonna take off within a few months and be so successful. But no, I got really distracted by everything and all the adventures that there are to be done as you travel, as it goes. So that's been my journey so far.
Nope, I understand that. And so a lot of people think that digital nomads, they're like, moving every 30 days or every couple of weeks, which some are, but some just like getting outside of their country, right? And then once they find the place that they enjoy working, and they just kind of settle down and then build their career or, build their business, whatever they want to do. And like for me, like I'm in the Philippines right now, and I've been here since last November. And that's because it's cheaper living right now, and my priority is just building my business, and like you said, building community, which we're doing now with the podcast and some other things that we're going to be exploring. I'm definitely going to be working my way back to Bali. I was there for a week and I loved it, right? And so like I'm big on meditating and just kind of getting in touch with my spirituality, and you can't do that alone. You can't just it's good to learn from somebody. And so my experience when I was there, we hired a driver, and it was like $50 for the day, and he just took us around everywhere, right? And then we were talking about meditation and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, I got someone you to meet." And I was like, "Okay." He was like, "Sure." Like, I literally didn't know what I was gonna go see when I went to Bali. I Googled a couple places, right? But then I was just like, I let the driver explore and show me around, right? So he's like, "I want you to meet my uncle." And I was like, all right, I'm open, right? And so come to find out, his uncle's a guru, right? And you know he's a guru because he says, "Don't call me a guru." Like the real guru is like, "Don't call me that. I'm not a guru. I just teach people," right? The fakes are like, "I'm the guru." So anyways, we spent like 5 hours there, and it was amazing. Like he showed us how to meditate. He walked us around his little meditation area. So we're definitely going to be talking about him more later. I'm definitely on our website, but yeah,
I love that.
awesome.
It's all about the unexpected experiences, right? It's don't plan it, because when you have a plan, and it's never going to turn out in a way that you want it to be.
Right,
so it's
right.
rather just like give into the moment and just go with the flow and see what happens, because that's what the beauty usually is. Right. That's what the hidden gems are. And yeah, like you said, your story is very beautiful, and I've had many experiences like that here. And I actually manifested this new home right next to a healing center that I've been meaning to go to for a while, but I was like, it's so far into the rice field. I don't want to drive there. Now I have to drive through the rice field every single day to get home.
That's awesome. It's funny how life works out that way, huh?
Yeah,
that's cool. So so for me, I'm a big planner, right? And it hurts my head. Like I know people who will go on the trip, and 2 days ahead in advance they'll buy their ticket, and then once they'll get there, they'll look for their hotel. I'm like, I can't. There's no way, because I'm like, I gotta at least know. But like you said, at least being open, right? So as we know, when we travel around the world, things happen. It's just part of the journey, right? So you just have to be open for anything that happens. So I call it like flow like water, right? Anything gets in the way of water, it just goes around it, over it, under it, and just relax, right? And so, and then like you said, part of the process. So I still have to plan, but when they drop a rock in front of me, I'm just, that's cool. Go around it, go under it, like whatever.
That's the thing. Like I used to have to try and control every single thing, and where I'm going, what I'm doing, etc. And only really in Bali, I think it taught me to surrender. As like every single day I'm confronted with something that I need to surrender myself to. And I don't mean just generally where I'm going to be, but just everything. Anything, I can't control it. I'm not in control. That's what I'm realizing. I'm not in control. Okay, universe, God, whatever, just take over.
Yeah.
Lead the way. Show me the path.
See, and I was always like that too. It's like I'm always in control. People say if it's out of your control, but like no, it's always in my control. But that was when I was in my comfort zone, right? And so you just kind of put yourself in that. And like now I'm in the Philippines, and it's like traffic here. You just have to deal with it, right? I mean, there's traffic everywhere, but the insaneness of driving in Manila, it's like, I've been to, like I said, I was prior Air Force, and I traveled different countries, and Africa was one of the ones that sticks in my mind, where you have like a 3-lane traffic, right? And I remember we had to ride a bus from our hotel to the airport where we were obviously working. And so everyone hops in the front of the bus. They're all excited. All right, we're going to drive in Africa. We can see what's going on. And so ride in Africa. So when the bus is like a 3-lane road, and it's like 5 cars lined up, right? like 5 lanes, but it's only 3 lanes. It's like, as long as the car could fit, they're fine, right? Then a bus takes off, and of course the bus is like the all power. He'll run everybody over. He's the big guy, and almost runs the guy off on a bike, and almost runs this guy over. Everyone sitting in the front's like, all right, we're going in the back of the bus. This is way too scary for us. Just like, no. And so I was like, I would never drive in a place like that, right? Just it's free for all. I was like, no, that would hurt my head. So anyways, I'm in Manila now, or not now, but when I drive in Manila, it's like, I have to do it, right? It's like,
you drive
yeah, so I drive in Manila fine.
I was there last year.
Oh, so literally like that whole thing I just said, be like water and flow. That's how you have to be when you're driving. You're like, all right, we call them semi trucks in America, right? Those big old trucks, and it's like, it doesn't care. It's gonna run you over. So you're just like, all right, you have to ride away. Before I'd be like, what are you doing? I'm in my lane, and they're like, they don't care. So motorcycles.
Don't hesitate
everywhere.
and just go.
Yeah.
With confidence. That's what they do. I do the same, Bali is very touristy.
Yes.
As you know, you've been here, and Ubud right now is like heaving with tourists. I think the different like seasons, and usually there are like less people, but like right now it's so busy. And I was the same when I came here. I looked at the traffic, I'm not driving here. And I rode a scooter around Thailand, Malaysia, but here I was like definitely not doing it. But now, because I live in the rice field, I have no choice, right? To get to places. And actually, I'm used to it now. I just follow the locals. I do exactly what they're doing, and usually I'm fine. It's fine. When you're in it, it's fine. The mind perceives something as really scary, but like it's only when you immerse yourself in it, it's actually not so bad.
So I don't know about the whole scooter thing, but I'll give it a try later. They were in Bali. They're riding on the sidewalks. And does the locals ride on the sidewalks too, or is that just the tourists?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no patience for like waiting for anything.
Oh my gosh. I was like, I'll stick with a driver for now. I was like, this is crazy, but that's cool. Yeah. So people, I don't know. So, what do you do in Bali as far as like, so going back to the digital nomadism, right? So how'd you get started? I know you like traveling, but how did that all get started? The people want to know.
That's how it did. That's how it did get started. It was just my love for travel.
Travel.
I didn't really have a set plan. Well, I kind of did, and I thought it was going to work out, but it didn't the way I wanted it to. So I was working a 9 to 5 in England, and that was after graduating after university in 2019. And I was like, is this what life is about? And I don't get to have holidays like I used to during like summer breaks at university. I would go away. Like that's where it started, I guess, when I used to go away for 3 months at a time. When I was in university, I'd go in the summer, I'd go and spend some time in Europe, and I'd work abroad. And so I always wanted to travel, but I just didn't think it was possible for me. And so I was really in a dark place when I was living in the UK, like completely lost. And I just realized like this regular lifestyle was just not for me. I needed to make a change, and one thing led to another. And before I knew it, I was doing coach training, going through life coaching training with my academy. And I was like, this is it. I found my purpose, and I'm going to be this amazing coach who's going to change lives, and it's going to be incredible. And I was so hyped. For the first time in my life, I actually stuck to something because I got ADHD brain. I've changed my job so many times in my lifetime, never stuck to anything. But I was like, this is it. I feel it in my heart, and I need to make this happen so I can also travel. Because during the pandemic, I'm sure everybody had quite a rough time, including myself, and I lost my job and I had to rely on somebody else to fund my lifestyle. And I was like, no more. I don't want to rely on anybody else ever again. So I had to find something that I can do for myself. And so when I finished my coach training, I very quickly got my first paying client. Now, I'm a very impulsive person, like very, and because I live for the adventure, I live for the adrenaline, and I just go for things sometimes without thinking them through. It's my creative brain. And so what I did, I just took a leap based on that one client. I quit my 9-to-5 job. I did actually apply for a job for my coaching academy. They had us opening for a weekend customer service rep. Now, I've done customer service for like 10 years, and I thought, amazing, it's remote. And working for my coaching academy with like amazing clients, because I am one of their clients. So it was like meant to be. And I, again, manifested that job. Because the whole time I was just believing and acting as if I already had that job. I didn't apply anywhere else. I had no plan. Anyway, I quit my 9-to-5. I got that job. So I transitioned whilst I was still working in the other company. And now my salary was halved. So I was like, where can I go? What's like the cheapest place? And everyone was talking about Southeast Asia. Yeah. And I was like, okay, let's see. Let's book a one-way ticket to Thailand. Now, I've never been to Asia. I've never been further away from Europe. Okay, once to Canada, but that didn't count. That was like a university trip. Okay. But I just took a leap of faith and I was like, okay, Thailand is it. It looks beautiful. They promised me this cheap lifestyle. So I just dived right in. I sold everything I owned as well, and I just went. I had no plan apart from I'm gonna make this coaching business work.
That's awesome. Yeah,
now, working for yourself, as you know, is very tricky. Yes. You have to motivate yourself, and there's no guarantees. Yeah. And then, it's also a lot of mindset blocks that come with that, transitioning from employment to self-employment. And that's what I found like the hardest. And Asia wasn't as cheap as they promised me to be. It would be. I don't know what happened during the pandemic, but apparently the prices did go up. And I quickly found myself struggling, I remember. And it was like quite a scary time, like the first half a year. But I was still living on the edge. I'm very comfortable on the edge.
So where were you living in Thailand?
So I landed in Krabi. That was my first destination.
That's probably why.
I love it so much. I'm actually going there in a week. In a week, I'll be in Thailand to do a visa run.
Nice. Are you going back to Krabi?
I'm going to Krabi. Yep, I want to, just for bands, for memories. I really liked it there. Yeah. And then I'm going to go to Koh Samui. There's a festival I want to go to. So it just worked out really well because I had to leave anyway. So I'm excited. But when I first went there, and I had a plan to stay for 6 weeks, or like as long as I could extend my visa one more time. And so that's what I did. I actually traveled to different Southeast Asian countries as long as the visa permitted. I didn't want to keep moving around, even though I did move around a lot in Thailand. I did most of the South Islands, most of the islands there, so that was fun. And I was just living on the islands, and my priorities were so different to what they are now. It's all shifted since. So it's life happens when you make other plans, right?
Yeah, it does. It really does. So on the island of Krabi, how's the internet there?
I don't remember internet being particularly good anywhere in Asia.
Oh, really?
Still having the same issues.
That's funny.
I mean, Philippines was the worst for me anyway.
I
wasn't in mainland, but I was in like Siargao and Boracay, and the power would go out all the time, and like the towers would be down, like the sim towers. I was like, how do people live like this?
Right? Yeah, they live online too. So I know for me, I'm on the main island, Luzon, and so that's why it's not bad. And then we have issues, but I actually bought Starlink as a backup. But even then, I've only used it a couple days out of the month, right? So it makes it worth it for a couple of days, but it's really not that bad. But I can imagine the other places more.
That's when we're relying on the internet, right?
I know that's
what's all we need.
That's why I was like Krabi. I was like, no. So like I know Bangkok. I was there for about a year, and I had a condo there, and the internet was fine. I mean, I was pushing like 400 megs. So like I rate it off from downloading movies, right? If I can download a whole movie in like 15 minutes, I got good internet. So anyways, yeah, but I want to go to Krabi, right? But when I go places, I'm there for like 30 days. So I can't imagine being in Krabi. That's like you said, that'd be like a border hop for my visa renewal. I'll go there for like a couple days a week, and then like, all right, we'll see, call it good.
Rayleigh, when you go, make sure you go to Rayleigh. So Krabi has different parts, but Rayleigh is the most. It's so gorgeous.
Okay, good to know. Write that down, Rayleigh. Yeah, so all right, so now you're in Bali, and now are you still a life coach, or what's going on there?
That's been kind of stale and stagnant. I lost my momentum, and I'm actually getting into it again now. I've collaborated with a membership site, so I'll be coaching the members on just helping them through their mindset blocks, because they're trying to start a creative business, and it's just basically helping them through those steps. So yeah, I'm really excited for that, because it's been a while, and I have a discovery call next week for an actual client. So yeah, it's starting up again. But yeah, I've been doing various different things. I've worked for my academy. I'm still working for my academy 2 days a week. And sometimes I do extra shifts, which is nice and it helps. But I also had another virtual assistant job working for another school off the back of that. But really it all happened because I took a leap of faith, going from, stability to no state. And I'm a freelancer, right? So I'm not actually direct. I could be fired at any point. So I have to just trust that the money always will show up when it needs to show up. And that's been kind of what I've been relying on this whole time. And it always does. It always does. And yeah, so I do various different projects now. I started my own Etsy store as well, and I've got a new virtual assistant client. It's a feng shui business. So yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, so it's so I'm a big believer in the universe, right? So if you put energy out there, you get that same energy back, right? And that's good and bad. And so it's like when you put the effort out there to try to reach your goals, and you're putting in the work, it's like the universe gives you a help, right? There's a lot of people out there, they talk about putting in the work and they don't do anything, and that's exactly what you're going to get back, right? And so I think that's amazing.
I'll be honest, I put my hands up. I didn't do anything following in that, I was like, I felt entitled. There was that sense of entitlement, why are the clients not coming to me?
Right.
Without actually putting the work in, and that's what kept me depressed. And being a coach myself, I should be able to help myself through that. But luckily, coaches also need coaches, and I had people help me with that.
Yeah, you are human, right? We all need help one way or another. So that's awesome. So yeah, so now you're freelancing, and you're kind of building your own, and and you're living on your own, and
I'm just living.
Place.
I'm living. What's beautiful about this as well, when you find the courage to actually step into this lifestyle, step into it. You just meet people all the time. It's networking, right? Which you don't normally do in your hometown. Right. You're just you're only surrounded by the same people over and over again. But when you travel, you meet interesting people, and usually entrepreneurs that are doing amazing things, and they'll always need an assistant or something done for their business. So yeah, as long as you have the skill, you're able to do so much. And there's, you can rely on stability and the same income every month, or you can take a leap of faith and then just believe that you will find the right people. Can you hear me still? Is it gone?
Yeah, you glitched out pretty good right there. I know that was a good. I know you're in Bali. That was my first test of Starlink. I actually brought it with me. So Dana glitched out a little bit. The internet in Bali it's iffy, and so. But yeah, first time I went to Bali, and I just got my Starlink, and I took it with me, put it in my suitcase, and I'm like, let me try this thing out. And sure enough, internet was glitchy, so I threw that thing on top of the house, and we're good. So, but I wasn't there. I wasn't there to work.
You weren't. I hear that Elon Musk came here. He wants to spread the Starlink.
Oh, sure.
Bali. So hopefully my landlord will get that.
I know. It's like $300 and then like $60 a month, but it's kind of expensive if you're on a tight budget. Anyways, so that's one thing about being a digital nomad, that people think that it's all like glamour and glitz and glamour, and you got all these fancy cars and all this stuff. It's about freedom and flexibility in your life, having that control over what you want to do. I mean, there's people all over the world that, they just, like you said, they work 9 to 5. They only meet the people that they work with. I mean, it's sad, even like their dating situations, like, all the people I date is people I work with, right? Like, they don't even have time to go out for themselves. And so when you have that control over your life, it's nice, right? And I know, I was thinking about it, like in like the US and probably Europe, I know in Europe for sure, that a weekend vacation, you can just go somewhere, right? Close by, go to the lake or you go to mountains, and it's great. But it's like, as a digital nomad, it's like, I need to take a visa break, right? So I'm going to go off to Krabi, which is like one of the most beautiful places, right? Or like for me, literally, it was like, I needed to take a week off. I went to Bali. Never been to Bali, but I saw how beautiful it was. And I wanted to say the tower that I went to, everyone sees pictures of the little temple. So anyways, but take a week off and just go off to Bali, right? And I know people from Australia, that's just their thing, right? But for us on, the other Western hemispheres, like, we don't have anywhere super, we have the Caribbeans, but it's expensive. That's the problem. Like, we have Hawaii, we have the Caribbeans. I mean, you go to California or something, it's expensive. And right, I'm not trying to, and some people, they take vacations and they, take out a loan or use credit cards, and then they're paying off that credit card for years for a vacation that just happened for a week and it's over, and that's their life, right? Where you can go somewhere like Bali if you're on this side of the hemisphere, and it's like, it doesn't break the bank, right? If anything, it might be a little bit cheaper than where you're living or whatever, and it's still beautiful. So, but you just open yourself up to different possibilities.
Yes, I definitely agree. There's always a way to travel on a budget and cheaply as well, and especially around here, so many opportunities. But last year I signed up for trusted house sitters, so I've been also pet sitting, so sometimes I get free accommodation in different countries, which is incredible, and it's like, not many people do that. They literally, they think all there is, they have to book some expensive hotels, go to Europe in the summer when they actually charge crazy prices just because they can. Right. And then they just like enjoy a week, and then that's it. For me, that's actually what triggered this need to travel, was when I was in my 9-to-5 job 2 years ago, and I really needed a break. I was at my breaking point. I was so stressed working in that company, and I gave him 2 weeks notice that I'm gonna go away for 1 week. I need to go away for 1 week or I'm gonna go crazy. And I went to Madeira. I don't know if you've been to Madeira in Europe.
No, I haven't. No.
It's like mini Hawaii of Europe.
Okay.
And I went there, and I was like, and the time went by so fast. I was like, 1 week is not enough. I'm only just settling into it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I need to figure out what this place is about. I need to meet the locals. I need to enjoy that slow life. I can't get enough of this. Yeah. I don't understand how people settle for just 1 month a year. In UK, it's only 1 month you can take a year as a holiday, which is like, to me, is like crazy and restricted. Like you said, I like my freedom to just go where I want, when I want, and just do visa run somewhere nice. It's like so convenient. Yeah, and it's like travel almost. Like, oh, what a shame. I'm going to what
a shame. How do you force yourself to have that fun? That's funny. So in UK, it's 30-day vacation a year. Yeah.
If you're lucky, actually, might be even less. So you got public holidays, which are about 8 a year, and then you get, it starts from 20. So some people only get 20 a year, 20 extra days, so 28, including the public holidays, and then you can go up to like 35, I think, a year. And they get so excited after 5 years they've earned an extra day.
I know, that's crazy. So in the US, it's 2 weeks. You get 2 week vacation. So people take 1 week off during the summer and 1 week off during the holidays, and that's it. And then you get the holidays. I know. So I was like 30 days. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, we have holidays, a day here, a day there, but it's like, no, 2 weeks. That's it. But for me, the scariest thing is getting laid off. So that's one thing that COVID got me, right? Well, it was probably before COVID. I was doing a career change, and there was a big layoff at the company where I just got into my new career, right? And I thought I was safe, right? And you're not. And then COVID hit, and of course that's when we started working from home, which that was my eye opener. I was like, man, it's like working from home is the way. But then I knew I was going to get laid off, right? Because they actually gave us a notice. And so I was like, I got to figure something else out. But anyway, so that's how I wound up in Asia. And it's like, you just got to figure out if you have multiple incomes, like that's your security. Some people think that having one job, that I'm secure now. And that's it used to be, right? You could work that job until you retired, and then they took care of you after retirement. But now, no, you can lose your job in like 2 days from now, right? So at least having multiple jobs is nice. Living somewhere where it's kind of, steady, but it's a scary world out there anyways. But at least having that freedom and flexibility.
You're never safe anyway.
You're not.
Is that false idea of safety when you're employed? That's what I found is that during the pandemic, I also got laid off as I was going through a career transition. I had just graduated like half a year before that, and I was looking for my big marketing break in London. So I had moved to London from the small town I was living in after having had a marketing job before that, like graduate marketing job. And it was the same. And as I was looking for jobs, and I got to like second stage interviews, and I said no to my first offer because I was like, I'm gonna find my dream job here, and I'm not gonna take any less than that. Working as a waitress in this cafe, as you know, no restaurants were open, so they shut that down, and I'm in this city like that I have to pay really half rent, and I'm like, oh my god, okay, this is gonna be fun. And in the back at my mother's house, without any income, and it was really scary. And that's the same, and I think it was for a lot of people that triggered that entrepreneurial mindset. For people actually started their businesses, they realized they deserve more. You're never safe, and you can create your own safety. And multiple sources of income is actually what I focus right now as well. That's why I said I'm doing many different things right now. Just so I have that security and I can focus on my passion projects, because I'm all about doing what I love, but I also need to live, right? So it's like I still need to survive. So it's like a balance. You have to balance these things. It's not like a set 9 to 5, but you're still going to be working a lot of hours. The more work you put into it, the more you're going to get out. It's not that dream lifestyle that everyone's trying to sell you. Oh, it's so easy. You become a marketer or whatever. It's
right. No, it's not true. You got to put in the work. Work. No, but that's good. So at least you're happy somewhat.
I am.
You're going through your process.
I am very happy. In the last month, I have been so grounded for the first time ever. And it was a journey, to get here. 2 years of a lot of solitude and just feeling very lost and directionless, to actually knowing where I'm going. And it is still coaching. Coaching is still, but it's not the end goal. My end goal is to do speaking. So this is why we're having this. So I'm really excited. But I started doing that a bit last year as well. So I did my first public speaking engagement in person last August.
All right. So we lost Dana a little bit. Unfortunately, her internet's a little spotty at where she's at. Like she said, she's in the middle of a rice field. And so wait a moment for her to get back. And public speaking is what she's interested in. So we're going to get into that whenever she makes it back, if she makes it back.
Wi-Fi has been a bit sketchy, so I'm just connected to my hotspot.
Well,
Be better here in Bali than.
that's what we have video editing for. And we'll keep it real. Right when we lost you.
Saying, I'm not sure what you had.
No, we got you to public speaking. Public speaking in August was the last thing you said. Public
Okay,
speaking,
yeah, and ever
then-
since then I've been doing quite a few. Yeah, and ever since I've been doing a few like podcasts like this, live streams, and yeah, just already working towards that dream. So I'm really excited. It's just the last month is where I've restarted. It's been very stagnant the last 6 months. I wasn't in a good place. And so now I'm kind of finding my feet again, and I'm really excited, and I got this newfound energy. So yeah, I'm excited to see where that leads me.
Yeah, that's good. Congratulations. That's awesome. Because sometimes people just don't know. It's knowing where you want to go, right? So all the struggles, it's worth it when you know where you're headed. Some people, they don't even know where they're headed. Like they get this job and they get this career and they thought it was going to be all glitz and glamour. Thought it was going to be all great. And then they're just working. Is that it? Is life over? I've seen so many times people are like, I don't know what to do with my life anymore. You reach your goal, but then it's like, all right, that's it. I'm just going to do this forever. I'm like, man, that sucks. Right? We all get lost. So it's all part of the process. So I think traveling helps, stepping out of your comfort zone, right? It kind of gives you a restart. And that's a lot of times people they do the same thing over and over. Go to work, come home, go to work, come home, drop the kids off at soccer, go to work, come home, and it's like, no, you gotta shake it up a little bit. And it's scary and it's hard, but sometimes it needs to be done.
Some people are happy with that, like I've seen some people are actually working jobs that they love to do, and they love having a family, and they love having the routines, and that's fair enough. But a lot of people actually do suffer, and they stay where they are because they don't know how to change that. Yeah. And that has been like the hardest thing, even for myself. When I did that transition was very difficult. So I get it, it's not for everybody, but I guarantee that it's always worth it, because if you wouldn't have that desire to change that if you weren't capable. That is my belief.
Right.
My belief is that everybody is capable, but don't hesitate, don't doubt yourself, just go for that, and universe will support you. And some people don't believe in the spiritual world or whatever, but whatever they believe in, whatever their faith is, that is going to support them. They just have to trust it. They need to find a way to trust themselves. Without that trust, they're not able to take that jump.
Right. Now, I've seen people in bad relationships, and they have kids, right? And they're married, and they just inside they're dying. On the outside, they're smiling because, like you said, they feel like they don't have another choice, and so they just deal with it, right? And it's like when that other choice or opportunity opens up for them, and they had enough finally. Everyone has their breaking point, and then they leave, and it's like breathtaking, right? It's like, wow, they can breathe again, and they're like, why didn't I do this sooner? But and I just tell them, you just weren't ready, right? I've been in plenty of whatever and times in relationships, and I just wasn't ready, right? And so you just try to stick with that person, and so it sucks. And so but once they're doing better, like this other person, she's a CEO now of a company, and all kinds of different things, and it's amazing. But she couldn't have done that if she didn't stay away from that if she was still in that relationship where she was held down, right? But everyone's different situations, and that's not even digital nomad, that's just life, period. But I know for me, stepping out and getting away from the situation I was in and leaving the country, and it opened me up too. And it's I I went to this country to start a business, right? I think you said this before earlier, is like, oh, I thought I was going to go there. I'm like 3 months, 6 months tops. I'll be rich. It's going to be rolling in, right? And it's like 3 months, I had myself to work on. Like, I was just not in the right mindset. You're trying to work, but at the same time, you're trying to explore and you're hanging out. And it's like, I needed a break from that old life first. I needed to first give myself a break. And then I needed to find myself. And then it kind of gave me the idea or gave me the room to start working on something. But even then, it's like it didn't work out, right? So I'm working on this thing for a year and it just didn't work out. But it doesn't mean you quit. You got to pivot, change something else, keep going. It's scary.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, if it's not working, it's because it's not that you're not working hard enough sometimes as well. It's just not energetically aligned. A lot of people are just grinding away, trying to make something work, but emotionally, they just like completely not there. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't have that trust in themselves, and that needs to be aligned first before they can actually make things happen. And I know that was my experience. When I started traveling, I found myself really lonely and alone, going from the communities that I knew to not having anybody to talk to in person, especially where I was staying in very remote places on these small islands most of the time. It was like I couldn't meet people. I was so alone, and because I felt so alone, I couldn't get myself to do anything, because suddenly all these fears and doubts creeped in, because there was nobody to say, you've got this. Do you know what I mean? So it was, again, that support system wasn't in place, and I couldn't find support in myself. So yeah, it really does start with a lot of like your own mindset. And yeah,
but we got this. So we're gonna work on this together. So I know for sure I will be building a support system, a community that's more in this area. So that's gonna be the struggle and fun. And I'm gonna be meaning to ask you, because I know you said Bali has a lot of I don't know, I want to call them seminars, but meetups, meet-togethers. And so how do you meet people there? Just for example, if you were in Bali, how do you meet people?
Easy. I just go and do the things that I enjoy. And there's so many things you can do here. So it's like, Disneyland. Literally, there's anything. So for me, I got into dance last year. When I started traveling around Balkan countries, I really wanted to find something that gets me moving, but also I don't have to start again and again from the beginning, because I used to do pole dance, right? And you can't just like quit and then start again, because you lose your strength and things like that. So I really wanted to dance. I always wanted to dance, but I never had the coordination or belief that I could. And so I started dancing, and when I came to Bali, especially Ubud, I found out that it's a big dance community here.
Oh, wow.
I was so surprised. So obviously I've been dancing a lot since coming here, and that's like gives me so much joy. Yeah. So I dance and I go to classes, and I meet people there, and I go to social dances, and I meet people there. That's only one community. Many communities here. This is why I'm here. That is my kind of priority right now, is being amongst community, because that's when I feel supported, and actually I feel full. And then I go to things like authentic relating. Not many people know about authentic relating, but it's basically you play games, and you play games to learn more about being in a relationship with others and a relationship with yourself, and just be more self-aware, just generally as a person. But I love playing, right? Playing and just adventure is what I'm about. That's who I am. So for me, my heart is full every time I go there, and the people that go there, they're very self-aware, they're very open-minded. That community is incredible. So that's another community, that's something. I'm just going to things that I love doing. Then there's so many different things, like, it's like, it's so much. And I go to the healing center, for example, or I do like breath work, for example, and then I'll meet people there. So there's like an abundance of opportunities.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
doing what you love anyways, and just meeting people doing these things. Yeah, but that's obviously not something you just have to do as a digital nomad, but that's a good advice for anybody. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and I couldn't find these things in my own town. Do you know what I mean? Like here, everything is available. Like beautiful cafes I go to, for example, I meet people there as well. Because people that travel, they're much more open and receptive to meeting people just in public. Whereas where I was living, for example, everyone's reserved. And when you go to a cafe, you can't just start a conversation with somebody. It's strange almost. Mm-hmm. So like, yeah, just go. Getting out here has a different meaning, and also there are more opportunities here than there would be in other places, for example.
All right, that's good. All right, Dana. Well, we're about out of time, but it was definitely nice talking to you. And we will. So, if people want to get a hold of you and learn more about you, how would they do that?
Yeah, they can just find me on Instagram. It's Dana_Winestone. So WINESTONE. And yeah, just look me up on there and we can have a chat.
And
thank you for having me here. And I'm so sorry about my internet connection.
No, it's one of the pitfalls of being a digital nomad, but so many ups to it. It's worth it. So, all right. Well, we will talk to you later, Dana. Take care. All right, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. Talk to you guys later.